processing. So what is consuming? So we want to understand like much more because we as soon as we're getting like requests from like a lot of different places, and these requests are redirected to a lot of different services. So we want to guarantee that the experience that our user is having is like smooth. I would say. Um, just like basic metrics, like CPU and memory, and if it's our system is up or not, is not enough. So that's why we need to understand actually the whole history uh, of um, of the user's behavior. So this is where it comes like we use like metrics. So we have like not only the basic like CPU and memory, but we do have like latency, error rate. We can like with uh, let's say here, garbage collector, deposits that our virtual machine, if you're using some language that runs on a virtual machine, some language that needs garbage collection. So we need to understand like the time that we are expanding on those resources as well. And of course, we need a little bit more. We need to understand like the data our application is consuming, like logs. We need to understand like how our application is behaving throughout the request. So that's why logs are important as well, because we do need to understand what is happening. And now we need a little bit more information. This is where I would say traceability comes, which is like the ability for us to understand like when we call a path, we call an API. So how it goes down, like the processing, like how the latency between like the calls, the latency between the CPU calls, and the inner database, which is consuming like the query that we are using. So we want to like dig a little bit deeper there as well, so we can optimize, or we can try to find at least more information if an error occurs, for example. So now we gather all this information and we can match. I think this is the most important thing. It's not because we all have like the metrics logs and things like. We want to match them accordingly. So um, this is a really an interesting point of observability, because we can correlate uh, the log with the trace with the metric. So we know exactly what's happening at that point of time in terms of CPU, memory, and also latency and whatever other metrics that we can have, because we have the ability to correlate. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chad,
that's
you talk about many things that we need to do to have all these kind of things. So if we want to have this trace and this correlation and also all these metrics, it seems to be a little bit hard to have all of that. Let's say that I have many microservices. I have to have the same trace ID, so we can have correlation and we find all the request and all the trace and the all the path that the request has passing through. And this is many things that we need to do, and it seems a little bit hard to do it by yourself by creating libraries and do it manually. So how companies are doing with that, because it seems to be a lot of things. How do
That's
you?
that's that's a very good question. I think for like many years we've been using like other tools which does this automatically for us, especially um, you guys have like probably worked with like New Relic, Datadog, um, or
Splunk.
Dynatrace.
Yeah.
So all these vendors, they offer a solution for you, which is like out of the box. So you just get that and use it, like you don't need to do much configuration. You just have an agent running on your host alongside with your application, and then this agent is responsible for like doing and getting the information for you. And then most of these guys, they offer you a really nice dashboard, a really nice view for you to get. So in the past, we didn't need to worry much about this because it's all done. The problem is like these guys are becoming quite expensive, and if we look for alternatives, that's what like most companies are trying to do. So they create like an organization to define a pattern to define standard. So we can treat this data across like different vendors in a similar way. So, whenever you need to move to a different vendor, so we follow that same